The Outer Worlds is a first-person role-playing game developed by Obsidian Entertainment and published by Private Division. The game was released in 2019 for PC and consoles, and it quickly gained popularity for its unique setting, intriguing storyline, and engaging gameplay. If you have watched my previous videos, you will probably realize that this is the second review on this topic. The reason I have chosen to replay The Outer Worlds and release a new review is because things have changed a lot since then. On one end, Obsidian have released two large DLCs, which I definitely wanted to play. On the other, a completely new version called the Spacer's Choice Edition was released recently, which is supposed to offer improved graphics, a higher level cap, and few other changes. Not to mention that back in the day, there was absolutely no ultrawide support for this game, nor were there any fixes available when I first played it. My experience was therefore quite unsatisfying. Firstly, let's get the Spacer's Choice Edition out of the way. If you play or have played Outer Worlds, you will know that there are a bunch of mega corporations who have taken over the colony of Halcyon where the story takes place. Spacer's Choice is one such mega corporation, which by the way is famous for the shitty quality of their products. So I want to think that the Spacer's Choice edition of the game is a bad joke made by the publisher because that edition is expensive and it's also shit. Yes, you've heard that right, everyone is saying that the edition is optimized so poorly that it even forces PCs with the latest and best hardware to their knees. Needless to say, don't waste your money on the appropriately named Spacer's Choice edition and instead just grab the normal one with its DLCs. You'll spend a lot less money and have a better experience overall. In addition to that, you can do as I did and apply a mod which increases the level cap to 60. I would have liked it to go to 100, but was sadly unable to find such a mod. 60 is still a substantial improvement though. With that out of the way, let's talk about the game's story. The Outer Worlds is set in an alternate future where mega corporations have colonized and terraformed several planets in a different galaxy from the one we live in right now. We take on the role of a character who awakens from cryosleep only to find ourselves in the middle of a conspiracy that threatens the entire colony. The game offers a wide variety of factions, each with their own interests, motivations, and agendas. The choices you make during this playthrough will impact the game's overall story, and you can choose to ally with different sides of the individual conflicts, complete various quests, and explore different planets. In some cases, your previous choices will affect the future ones in a direct way. You may find yourself wanting a choice, but not having it because the NPC who you want to side with doesn't want to have anything to do with you due to some dubious things which you have done in the past. On one end, this adds replayability. On the other, it annoyed me on a few occasions because some of my decisions were entirely appropriate and reasonable, yet an NPC was now denying me my desired conclusion to a sub-story because of those decisions. How was I supposed to know that I should have not acted like a reasonable person a bit earlier in the story? As you can clearly see, my annoyance with this outcome is a testament to the game's qualities. Think about it, these things happen in real life as well. The Outer Worlds simply emulates that. I ended up both hating and loving such moments once I've had time to reflect and think about it. Another of the game's strengths is its character development system, which offers a wide variety of skills and attributes that players can customize to their liking. This allows us to tackle challenges and quests in different ways, providing yet again additional replayability. In addition to that, the game provides the player with tons of stat and speech checks which make it feel like your decisions when it comes to your character development matter. You can kill a target, convince them through speech options, sneak and simply pickpocket something which can later be used to lie that we actually did kill the target, etc. We unlock doors, hack terminals, and find shortcuts in many places. While the game's maps are relatively small, they offer tons of options for various approaches and playstyles, which is both fun and liberating. The devs went so far that they even accounted for the fun option to create a character whose intellect is so low that he's essentially a moron. This unlocks a whole plethora of hilarious options and even provides us with a unique idiot ending which will at the very least make you smile. But even if you choose to do a more serious playthrough, you will still find that the game's humor is on point. When it comes to the graphics, The Outer Worlds looks quite nice with its bright, colorful, and detailed world. The various planets have their unique ecosystems, fauna, and flora. Exploring its environments was very enjoyable to me. The game's sound design is also top-notch with an excellent voice acting cast and a well-composed soundtrack that enhances the atmosphere. The one thing to consider is that almost all of the NPCs look like they're twins or at the very least related to each other. This is however forgivable since there are a lot of them and I would not expect every NPC to have quite unique looks when it comes to a game this big. Thanks to a fix, You can also enjoy the game in 32:9 and 21:9 without any issues this time. What a time to be alive. I remember when I first played it and the game looked awful. Now I can finally enjoy it properly. One major weakness is the game's combat system, which is quite underwhelming as it feels clunky and unresponsive at times. The gunplay lacks the fluidity and precision of some of its competitors, making it frustrating or boring to fight the enemies. The game's AI is also not very challenging, leading to some dull and repetitive combat sections. In addition to that, it feels rather easy. I played the game on hard and still won most of my fights without any problems. The ones that I did lose, I did so pretty much instantly. Winning those required very little on my part to change the tide of battle. For example, all I had to do was reposition slightly. The main game's length is a bit of a drawback for me. It's really short, with a playthrough taking around 20 hours, which is not enough for an RPG of this magnitude. To address some of these criticisms, Obsidian Entertainment released 2 major DLC packs for the game, namely Peril on Gorgon and Murder on Eridanos. These DLCs offer new quests, characters, weapons, and locations to explore, expanding the game's world and providing additional content for players to enjoy. The DLCs also introduced new gameplay mechanics and, above all, were incorporated into the endings. I was pretty excited to play them since this would have been entirely new content for me and was not disappointed. Anyone considering giving the game a try should get these DLCs as well. In conclusion, The Outer Worlds is an enjoyable RPG that offers a unique and immersive experience with an intriguing storyline, very nice graphics, and good sound design. However, the game's combat system and AI need improvement, and while the relatively short playtime was improved with the DLCs, it still feels like the game is on the shorter end for an RPG of this type. Despite its shortcomings, it is worth playing for those looking for a sci-fi RPG experience that is not too demanding. I can definitely recommend it, and I'm looking forward to playing the sequel when it is finally released. With that having been said, I want to thank you for watching Game Filter. I hope this review has been informative and entertaining, and would love to see you on the next one. If you wish to support my channel, you will find the link to my Patreon in the description of this video. Have a great day. This is Nino signing out.